Morgan in the morning, 5 till 9 on Hitkicker 99.7.
Hey, Burt Ward, how are you, sir?
Fine, citizen.
And now my dreams come true.
I'm great.
Now, I understand you had no professional acting experience before you got on camera with the debut of that show, correct?
Well, I had studied acting both
Right.
professionally and at UCLA, but it's true I had not had any job before, and I was very fortunate in getting an agent through a friend, and they said to me, don't expect to work for a year, and if you get a part, you might have one or two words that you say, and all that kind of negative stuff. And, of course, the first thing I tried out for was the part of Robin. And I had a little bit of competition. There was 1,100 other young actors trying out for this one role.
Oh, wow. And you got it. Now, what were you thinking when you first put on the tights?
Well, actually, I didn't know that the project was about a cartoon or comic book.
Okay.
I didn't even read Batman when I was a kid growing up because they didn't have Batman comics where I lived. They only had Superman. So I thought this was some kind of Shakespearean piece. Pretty weird dialogue.
Little did you know. And then you met Adam West, and then it ruined everything, right?
Oh, my gosh. What a wild and crazy guy he is. You know, he really is the true Batman. Oh, my gosh. And you know, he's so unpredictable in the things that he says and does that he just lightens up everything and just makes it so much fun.
Was he just as funny on set back in the 60s as he is now?
Let me tell you something. He was a wild man. And all I can tell you is that, boy, I learned an awful lot from this guy. And, you know, we've always remained friends. We still go out and make personal appearances together on weekends at these huge Comic Cons. So, you know, and we love to meet the fans, you know, and so many people have grown up watching Batman. So many generations of fans.
So when you were telling me earlier that you had no idea, you thought it was some kind of Shakespearean thing, and then you got on the set and then you realized, or someone told you what this was all about, and you put on the tights and you got all dressed up and you saw Adam West in his Batman outfit, then did you say to yourself, did I make a mistake, or were you all about it? I mean, that had to have been quite a shock.
I learned about it while I was doing the screen test, but in the course of doing the screen test, I had no idea what it was about. First, I had a meeting at the studio, and I met a casting director who sent me in to see the executive producer, who the first thing he said to me was, "You're kind of big for this part." And I said, "Oh, sir, whatever that part is, I promise you I won't grow anymore."
Oh, my goodness.
And he said, "Would you like to do a screen test?" And I said, "Yes." And that's when, at the screen test, you know, trying on this crazy costume, my God, you know, I didn't know any of it until after I had already done the dialogue for the screen test. And then somebody said to me, "Well, you know what this is about, don't you?" I said, "I have no idea." And they said, "This is about a comic book, the famous Batman comic book."
He has gone from Cape Crusader to Canine Crusader. Burt Ward here on Morgan in the Morning. He is from the original Batman series from the 60s. And, you know, he is Robin. We know him as that. But you have a huge cause that you are a part of. You are a part of the world's largest big dog rescue in the world. And it is Dog Food Gentle and Giant's Dog Food, which 100% of profit goes to the rescue, and you get no money from either the dog food or the rescue. So now, first of all, what inspired you to be a part of this?
Well, let me tell you something. 22 years ago, my wife and I rescued a Great Dane, all right? And we rescued a Great Dane because we'd heard that it was in someone's home, they had to give it up, and it was about to go to a shelter. We heard of other ones. The ones we didn't take, we found out later, were all put to death because there was no Great Dane rescue here in Southern California. So my wife and I decided we can't let this injustice go. We got to save these dogs. And I even said to her, just temporarily, just for a couple of weeks till we find somebody else. Well, the couple of weeks has turned into 22 years, and going from one breed, Great Danes, to now 45 different breeds that we rescue, and we have totaled more than 15,500 dogs. Everyone would have been put to death that we have saved, provided food, shelter, complete medical care, and found a safe, loving home. We've always had more than 50 of these dogs living in our home with us. And in fact, all 15,500 at one point lived in our home with us until we found them another home.
That is
But in
unbelievable.
the course of caring for all these animals, if you go to the trouble to save them, you want them to live as long as possible.
Right.
We developed first a feeding and care program that added about 3 years on average to every dog's life. But then we spent millions of dollars of our own money to develop a dog food, unlike any other dog food, that is low-fat, heart-healthy, that doesn't have that grease on the outside. I don't know if either of you have a dog, but let me tell you something. Dog food is full of fat. Look on the back of the bag under guaranteed analysis, 12 to 22% fat. That would kill a human. So we decided, let's make a low-fat, heart-healthy dog food with the best ingredients, all natural, with no grease on the outside. And that is what we have done. And now we have, right now, 24 of our dogs are 15 to 26 years of age.
26?
I mean, that's consistency.
Holy
and
cow.
these are giant breeds that only live 7 to 9 years.
Right.
Doubled every dog's lifespan in that group of 24.
And Great Danes have been known to not live very long, so that is incredibly impressive that you have
6 to 8 years.
6 to 8 years,
6 to
yeah.
8 years.
Right, yeah.
That's
wow.
right. And our dogs are all, the 24 are 15 to 26 years of age.
Yeah.
And, and we take nothing from this. And for a person who loves their dog, that would love to have their dog live with them many, many years longer. In the case, by the way, of my own daughter, she has had her dog with her for more than 20 years, which I think, isn't that wonderful for a kid to grow up with their best friend and to have their best friend by their side
Sure.
for more than 20 years? So what we did is, because we don't take anything from it, our dog food sells at retail for less than half the price of an all-natural dog food sold in a pet store. Less than half the price. So people, no matter how much they make, if they can afford to buy food, they should buy Gentle Giant. And because we're now all across the country because of Amazon.com and Walmart.com with free shipping to your home, this is the way to go, and everybody can have their dog live into their late 20s. That's the opportunity that people have.
Burt, is there a website we can go to purchase this Gentle Giant dog food?
Yes, Walmart.com and Amazon.com.
Oh, fantastic.
And, by the way, they can come to our website, GentleGiantsRescue.com, to read about our feeding and care program. We have a menu. On that menu, one of the choices is add years to your dog's life, use our feeding and care program. And all the information is free. In addition, printed on the back of every bag of our dog food is our number, our telephone number. People call us every day from all over America to ask questions about care for their dog. I mean, who do you call for help?
Sure.
If you have a question about caring for your dog or behavior or even medical questions before you go to a vet, those are the kinds of things we handle every day, and we do it for free.
He went from saving the streets of Gotham to helping dogs all over the world. Burt Ward and the 50th anniversary of the Batman series. By the way, is that weird to hear? 50 years since the Batman TV series was on?
It is. And Adam and I have just been submitted to the Guinness Book of Records as the only two actors in history that have worked together 50 years later. Let me just tell you, something big is coming before the end of the year, reuniting Adam and I, bigger than what we did, combined with all the films that have been done since then, to make the sum bigger than its parts. It's coming before the end of the year, but I can't talk anymore.
Oh.
Thank you, citizens, to the Batmobile.
See you later, friend.